Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and it's a warm welcome that you found me. I'm here to help you all that have a case with the child protection system. It's a government entity that was created in 1962 to protect our children from neglect and abuse. It's a part of social services mandated by Congress to have a group of social workers set aside to protect our children from neglect and abuse. Those are the two areas of child abuse that we're looking at. Now, I too was a victim. Yes, unfortunately, I was too a victim. And so I'm here to relate what happened to me and what you can do not to make the same mistakes that I did. I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father, a husband, a father of 6 children, and I have 42 years of marriage. So a lot of life skills, and I have never encountered an entity that I've been fighting for 15 years now. That is a long time, and I've been on this live stream now for 20 months, going on 21 months. Started in October of 2023. It's now 2025. So this has been a long time. So all of 24, and then 6 months of 25, and 3 months of 23. So that's 15, and 6 is 21 months. So it's 21 months. Wow, that's a long time. That's over 2,000 people I've spoken to from over 23 countries. Yes, you heard me right. I said 23 countries because not only have people from the United States called me, but 22 countries have called me too. As far away as Indonesia, the Bangladesh, and India, then up to the Middle East, to Saudi Arabia and Libya, then over to Africa, to Liberia, to Sudan, to Republic of Congo, to Rwanda, to Mozambique, and then to South Africa. Then up to Europe, we have the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and then Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond in North America, we have Canada, of course, the United States. All 50 states have talked to me, including even Washington, D.C. Then south of the border, we have Mexico, and then in South America on the east coast above Brazil is Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, we have New Zealand and the land down under Australia. So that's a lot of places. And so just keep in mind, is over 2,000 people, 23 countries, have struggled to fight CPS because CPS, a lot of people don't know what it is. I certainly didn't know what it was, and I learned the hard way. I learned that where an agency can be corrupt and traffic your children into foster care where they can be hurt and injured. An agency that can lie, that's corrupt. Now, I'm not saying all CPS is, but a good group of them are. That's the sad part. All of you have something in common with me, is that basically we're low income. Yes, that's what it seemed like. A lot of people have something in common. You're not against law. It's not your fault you're low income, but it's hard to hire an attorney to get professional help to fight the rogue CPSs out there. And you don't know from one to the next who's rogue and who's bad. But all I know is that when your children are not in danger and they take your children, or they talk to you, or they come to your home and force the way into your home when they can't be, I am stressed upon the fact that never let them in your home, never talk to them, And certainly don't give up your children. Now, I just noticed that we have Cruella, who's been coming in twice a day for a long time. And good evening, Cruella. And I'm so glad to see you. I really am. And it's been probably a long day since this morning here. But I was wondering, it was Friday. This is today, the 26th of June. It's a Friday, year 2025. And what's the latest, Cruella? Cruella is a mother who has her dad has her two babies but won't give them up. She has a brother that's trying to kick her out or evict her from her home where she was taking care of her mother who need caregiver, and that's what Cruella was doing. And they've been beating around the bush here, not giving her information and let her completely in the dark. But I know that Christina Reynosa has been trying to um, help out Cruella. She's also named Felicia, and she's from Oxnard, California, and she's in Ventura County. That's where the CPS is located, and we're the one that she has the trouble with. And it's nice. It's nice to have family in here because what this room is, it's so all of you can help one another. I talk about all kinds of topics. It's up to you. You tell me which ones to talk to. I can help you. I can help you. In fact, one week I helped a couple and they were able to hang on to their children to a medical trafficking that was happening to them, where that the social worker insisted that they take out the girl's appendix, their daughter's appendix, which didn't need to be taken out. But they listed a social worker who was wrong. Now the social worker, it was sad. It was bad. It really is really bad. Anyway, what would you like me to go, or what direction you like me to go, Cruella? If you want to call in, I'm going to put my number up soon. I need to tell you about how to interact in here. You know, emojis are nice. If you guys give emojis, that's great. Thumbs up, hearts, smiley faces, or even stars would be great. Please check below the follow button, or if you want to be notified, check the notification button. Now I'm on twice a day. I'm on 7 o'clock every night of the week, 7 days. And then I'm on weekdays, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. And then on the weekend, tomorrow, I'll be on at 8 a.m., 8 a.m. in the morning. And all those times are 1 hour, and they're all given in Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the west coast of California. I'm broadcasting from Surf City, USA, and I'm 2 blocks or 3 blocks from the ocean. Now, one of the things that people like to do is they like to text in a message. Now, if you're going to text in a message, you should make it either a question or a comment and should pertain to CPS. It's about CPS. Please show me your first name and your city or county, your state, and if you're outside the United States, put your country down. Put your country down. Please tell me about your CPS case from the beginning to where you're at. That's only the first time you have to do that when you um, text a message or if you call in or be a guest. Those are other ways you can there. In fact, besides texting messages, you can also be a guest on my live stream. Be a guest on my live stream. All you have to do is contact my show producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com. Grace at vincentwdavis.com. You put in one of my show times. I mean, either, like my Sunday night show or Friday morning show or Wednesday night. You put it in the night or day, and then you put it in the one day of the week. And you can be on my show. I can take up 9 of you at one time. If you call in, which is going to come up next, you can only be one person can only talk at a time. That's all I can handle. But on the as a guest, you can have up to 9 people. And I had a guest this past week from Carson, Nevada, from a sweet lady that at 16 started having children, and it's been really rough for her. It's hard when a lot of you are a mother at an early age, or our father too. I can't forget the father. So anyway, if you tell her what you want to by email, and she'll send you a link. You copy and paste the link. It'll take you to SteamYard, and you broadcast on SteamYard application via YouTube, and that link will get you right where the room is about CPS, and I can try to help you. I can try to help you. She also tell you about the rules, like we have no profanity, no first names or no names of children, social workers, or judges. No names. And I really appreciate your caring and helping one another's room. You all are like a big family in here, and I really appreciate that. It's nice to have you there. And then the last thing I have left is the phone number. Now, there's my phone number. That means you can call them live. It's 626 698 0990. And I'd love to speak to you. So, my phone number is on. And that line is my work number, and it'll get you right here. It's 626 698 0990. Now, the other number you see there, the 888 is the law office of Vincent W. Davis. And he is an attorney that is available if you need a good attorney in dependency cases, which your case is in. That's what it's all about there. That's what it's all about there. And so when you call that number, the 888 you reach the law office of Vincent W. Davis. You reach reception, tell the receptionist that Bob Pace sent you. And there you can set up a time to meet with Mr. Davis, or if you want to hire him, or maybe you need some other legal matters, like maybe there's things called immigration, or maybe there's something real estate law. He handles all the law aspects. And then there's books and packages that I can tell you about and so forth. His schedule, he does live streams also, as well as other people do. So there's always plenty of live streams going on. You just need to call the office and find out what is going on. Now, it's hard to believe that right now it's going to be slowly to the 4th of July. I'm on every day of the week. I don't miss anything because of holidays or anything else. I may shift my times a little bit depending on family matters, but I'm pretty punctual and pretty much here to help you all. So I'll leave my number up there, and of course the other number there for Vincent Davis. Now you're probably wondering, why do I need an attorney? Well, it's my number one rule. The reason why you need an attorney is like it's doing open heart surgery. If you do an open heart surgery, you're going to get a doctor. You're not going to have a layperson open up your chest cavity and work on your heart. You're going to have a professional. The same thing goes true with CPS. You need somebody in a professional way that orchestrated that will know about CPS. I know that there was some people that called in today. Hmm. 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 Okay, Alan Cruz was one.
Did Hannah not text you her information or not? Did she want me to help her or no?
Okay, Hannah. Well, hmm. Well, Christina Renoza. Um, um, Christina Renoza, who's from Las Vegas, Nevada, has been trying to help a lot of people, including myself. She's really good at how she's able to put together grievances and complaints. And she's usually in my room all the time. Now, Grilla says, can you talk a little bit about parental parents' rights? Well, yeah, you have a right as a parent in the United States by the Constitution, your civil rights, to fight your case, to have a right to hire an attorney. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint you one. And if the court appointed attorney doesn't work out, you have a right to replace that court appointed attorney. You have things like the Fourth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the First Amendment. There's all kinds of constitutional rights and stuff. Now, Corella is asking, what are the parent rights? What are the parent rights? Now, Corella, who is in California, the parental rights should be sometimes different than other places here. But these include parental rights. Until there's a court order, both parents have equal rights to make decisions about their children. They both have equal rights. Legal parents can ask for custody and visitation orders, required to financially support their child, and can be listed on a California birth certificate. CPS cannot enter your home without your permission, force you to take a drug test without a court order or prevent you from attending court hearings regarding your children unless you're deemed dangerous to them. So those are three of your parental rights. Um, it starts off with one of the first things you got to know is what is CPS? I say it's the Child Protection System. Every county will have different names. Department of Children and Family Services is in LA County. Child Protection Services is Orange County. In Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. In Arizona's Department of Children's Services. To make it simple, I just say CPS. CPS. Now, I know that having CPS intervene with your relationship with your children is going to be terrifying. That's why it's essential that you empower yourself with knowledge and to know and enforce your rights when doing that. One of the first things you got to do is hire an attorney. They are the person, just like a doctor in open heart surgery, you need to hire an attorney that can navigate through the corruptness of CPS. There are a lot of the organizations are corrupt. I'm not saying all, but a lot of them. Now, this lawyer will help you navigate. Also, when it comes to CPS investigations, lawyer can help you feel less stress. Now, the child protection system is intervening where situations where a child abuse or neglect is alleged in California. They're made by two kinds of reporters: the mandated reporters, which are your professionals, doctors, nurses, the school teachers, people that deal with children on a day-to-day basis. They are trained, and by law, they must report suspected neglect or abuse. The first thing and the most important thing to remember when dealing with CPS is they don't want you to take your children away from you unless your child is unsafe. CPS strives to keep children with their families as long as they're a safe, stable environment for the children. If they deem the situation to be unsafe, they'll work to develop an alternative plan for the children as quick as possible. Now that's the philosophy. That's what CPS is all about. But whether they follow it is really really hard. Now CPS gets involved because of multiple reasons, but generally fall into two categories: abuse and neglect, or exploitation. The law requires CPS investigators investigate every claim that is made. So that means no matter if the claim is crazy, they have to investigate it. Now that's when it's received or referred, and right away you're guilty until you're proven innocent. It's the only court of law where it's backwards. Every other place is you're innocent till you're proven guilty. The social service staff determines which category the referral falls into. Then the emergency response staff determines and if it's an emergency response is required. Now, what they will do when they get involved? Well, a lot of things they'll do is that they'll determine the need for protection of the child. They'll intervene in the crisis if necessary, assess or identify the problems, gather facts, and create a plan to ensure the child is safe. The plan could include support services for the parent and child, support goals for the family, provided resources, and setting up frames for compliance. Now, it's a long process. It can be, like in my case, is over 3 years. Now, it started with me with false allegations. What had happened is that I had a layperson who was a family member. She was my in-laws, or actually my wife's mother and father, and her three sisters and her brother. They'd call in once a week, and this went on for 5 years. And so they're going to investigate you. So hopefully that answers your question, Cruella. Hopefully that answers your question. Now, I'd like to welcome some other people to my room, some new names, which is great. I always encourage new people to come here. Since I've been talking, we've had a bunch of people come in quick, some regular people and everything else. Now, hopefully, the answer is so. I did talk about parents' rights. Maybe there are constitutional rights that aren't commonly known. Chris, welcome, Chris. I have no idea where you're from. Can you open my case and tell me if there's anything going on? Um, why is it? It's a sealed from my um, from my end. Thanks. I have no idea what you're talking about, Chris. I don't have any cases from you. If you could tell me your city or your county or your state where you're from, and if you're outside the United States, the country, and I can further try to help you. Good evening, Dorothy Cook, and welcome. Dorothy is a mother from North Carolina, and she helps me with emphasizing all y'all that can be helped and so forth. Now, Chris further says, let me know if you like the case number. I have no idea what you're doing, Chris. I can't look up cases because I'm not privy to wherever you're located. You need to call in and talk about your case. You can call in real easy right now or be a guest on my show. Good evening, Laura. And I have no idea where you're from, but let me know. See, Laura here to support Chris. Well, thank you, Laura Woodward. And I have no idea where you're from and what your relationship to Chris is. Laura Woodward, her rights have been taken from her. Okay. What kind of rights are we talking about? Um, Florida took the 5-year-old daughter, and they're not even from there. I don't know if you're talking about a CPS entity, a child protection system entity, and I don't know if you mean from Florida. I'm trying to understand. It's very vague. I'm not a very good detective here. Dorothy Cook, what are the parental rights? I just went through that, Dorothy, but thank you very much. Felicia, I answered that earlier part of my show. Laura, Lori Wad Dode. I'm going to stick with Laura. She needs desperately support. I guess Chris is a girl, which is fine, and someone who knows the laws to help them fight. That is what's called an attorney. That's the first thing you need to do is hire an attorney. Just like you're going to have open heart surgery, you hire a doctor. You hire a doctor. Dorothy Cook says, Pennsylvania rights can be in a different places, or parental rights can be different in different places. You're right. You're right, Dorothy. What is CPS? Well, I just talked about CPS, and I said it's a government entity that's mandated in 1962 to social service to create a group of social workers to protect our children from neglect and abuse and exploitation. Anyway, this government entity is supposed to do just that, but a lot of them are bad, and you don't know the good ones from the bad ones. Now, Chris says, I don't use sweat and how this is legal to put a family through all this trauma. I know what the trauma you're going through. And be able to falsify a report, which is true, and after bringing it up, still the judge says it's like trying to buying a TV. I'm a little like that. Wow. Well, I don't know. Buying a TV is really like CPS, but it can be very stressful. Chris, I don't know if you're from Florida, where you're from, but it would really help me if you all would state where you're from when you text me a message. If I have all my classes assigned to me, completed, and get uh, get a home of my own, how soon can I be unified? I'm also working at $14 an hour. That's hard. That's hard. In the state of California, you wouldn't survive at $14 an hour. The minimum wage is 22. If you work at McDonald's, you can work for $22 an hour. And it's hard to believe you're working for $14 an hour. That's hard to believe. And you want to get a home. Well, again, if you're in California, it's the wrong place. The other day I was looking at home prices. It's like $1 million for a home in California. And so many people, you know, I once had it for every home. My favorite home I had to sell because I needed to hire an attorney. I did what's necessary to fight CPS and get my children back. They were stolen, they were trafficking, they were alienated. And for 15 years, I've been fighting CPS. Now, my children were actually taken in 2015, summer 2015, and returned to me in December of 2017. Now, not all my children returned, by the way. The social worker was so bad, we caught her in a thing called perjury. She lied in court. And when she lied, my attorney proved that she lied. And she retaliated because she was so embarrassed. And she empowered our daughter to emancipate from the parents because in California you can divorce your mom and dad at 12. So she did that. She changed her name. She sealed her birth certificate. She got a second social security card, double dipping for my social security. Terrible, terrible. And she got adopted by a foster family who made her promises, just like the CASA worker. You're going to experience a CASA worker, don't trust them, the court appointed. Um, they're supposed to help you and help your children through their time of stress, but instead they're big ears and they blab everything to CPS. They also were part of having my daughter divorce mom and dad. It still hurts. My daughter right now is 22. She was 12 at the time. So the last 10 years, she's ignored us ever since she divorced us. It's tough. It's tough. I can see my daughter because she got trapped in doing a YouTube show and I found her. I actually saw a picture of the judge. He's in on it too. They're in cahoots. Orange County child protection system is rogue. They've gone bad. And Casa has a video out where they got my daughter with her new name embracing about the fact that her family wasn't there for her, which was not the case at all. And Chris, she says she's never been unsafe. I made a dumb mistake and told them they needed a warrant to enter the home. I passed them off, and they really are putting me through. I know they're putting through really bad things. Yes, in order for the social workers to take your child, they have to have a warrant. The warrant's got to be issued by the court and hand carried by the policeman. The policemen are the ones that serve the warrants, not the social worker. The social worker is not the same as the police. They bring the police to do a lot of things to protect the social worker, to issues warrants and things like that. But you don't have to talk to them. You can say that in the process of getting your attorney, and the next time you will talk to him, you'll have an attorney. Now we have somebody new here called Nothing New. And Nothing New says abuse, neglect, investigate every claim made in California. That's true. Nothing New says the interview, if necessary, to assure the child is safe can be a long case. Oh, yes, it can be. So many people are going by years, and it's sad. Chris further says, I looked up creating a double dependency case. I'm just over Florida. Okay, now we know you're from Florida. That's great. I don't know what part of Florida, but to give us some more information, your city or county would help. Florida Department of Children and Families, CPS, they have already seriously made out lies are wrecked. They are. I best interest of us all. Nothing New again is saying, can a layperson call into CPS as well? Yes. Your family, your friends, your acquaintances, the person at the store can call in and make false allegations. And that's sad because allegations are made. Now, last year in 2024, there was over 4,200,000 allegations made of children abuse or neglect. And of that, half of them were false. They were false. Over half of them were. Now, these were done by the professionals. So the professionals half the time get it right. The lay people have a worse record. They have a worse record. They maybe get it right maybe 25% of the time. They're 75% wrong. They really are. And there are more negligence cases than there are abuse. 75% of the cases are negligence and 25 are abuse. And Indian children are at the high end of the spectrum, and 99% of all Indian children will experience CPS before they reach the age of 18. Also, black children are 50% where they um, they will encounter CPS before they're 18. So it affects a lot of our society. And it's sad. It really is. Um, there is abuse that takes place all the time. Don't get me wrong, there's horror stories. But there's also abuse of parents and children that aren't there. And let me see, I have someone just text me in something here. Mm. I have Christina Reynosa just touch base with me. So we were worried about Hannah, who's on her show, and she's from Nevada. I never heard from Hannah from Nevada, Las Vegas. I mean, Nevada. Hannah from Nevada, from Carson City, Nevada. Um,
Good evening, this is Michelle.
yeah, Michelle, this is Bob Pace. I tried to leave a message with you earlier today, but I never heard back from you. And you'd called me from Michigan with a case, Michelle. Okay. Before I go much further, I want you to know I'm calling you on my live stream, meaning that we're live now, and 23 countries are hearing us. I hope you don't mind sharing your story with everybody. Okay, good. All right, let me tell the people this is called Michelle. She'd called me this morning about a very bad case with CPS, and she's at her rope's end about it, and she wants some help. So any of you that are my regulars in my room, listen, and maybe we can help Michelle because with her case in Michigan. Go ahead and start, Michelle. Tell me your story.
we began and other serious implications were going on health-wise in Southwest Michigan. All from lead pipe to radon and all kinds of stuff. Well, even after I left Channel 16, I stayed involved with uncovering serious criteria where health matters were concerned. And several legislatures and or city officers did not like my involvement because I'm not from Michigan. I'm actually from Denver, Colorado, but I moved to Michigan. And in light of what I began learning, they told me, you need to leave this area. We don't want you here.
Now, who said this? Was this a CPS organization saying that? Okay, so you had a CPS organization. What city or county was this in Michigan? Okay, Barrington. Right. Now, was this in an allegation with you as a parent about your children? Were there allegations by them? Okay. Well, if that's your home, how could they not want you there? I mean, if you're raising your children, you had a job there, they can't decide who lives in their area and who doesn't.
Literally. 3 months ago, finally, the exposure and all of my work, and I'm skipping through a lot. Finally, they acted on their threat because I refused to leave my house, which is a 5,000 square feet original Victorian from 1900s that's paid for. I refused to leave. And they said, all right, we're not going to play with you anymore. And they literally came when I was not there and took my 14-year-old into custody.
How'd they get a hold of your 14-year-old?
They showed up. And then I had to go rent an apartment at various spots to stay safe. And they found out about one of my spots because I was being threatened and shot at because I refused to leave.
Well, wait a minute. Who was trying to do that? You're telling me that CPS was shooting you with guns?
CPS was working with local city police, and they were allowing two of the cousins of one of the police officers. They hired them to come and shoot at me, and so I had set up bases of safe spots to go, and they found out one of my safe spots, and they showed up, and I was not there, and they just took my little girl.
Wow.
There was no child abuse. There was nothing. And so, now at this point, they've had her 3 months. She has appeared with injuries on her. She's nonverbal. My daughter, my 14-year-old Emily, cannot speak. She's Down syndrome and autistic.
So she's a special needs child. So they're taking advantage of your child. Please don't use the names of children, okay? You can just say your special needs girl was abducted by the police. Now, what's the name of the police department there? Okay, right. Wow. Yeah. Now, did you try to go to the police chief about this? So there's cahoots of it. So did you try to go to the mayor of the town? And what did they do? Okay. Now, have you talked to your state representatives, the senator or the Congress? What have they done?
It's me.
Mm-hmm.
We're shooting anger. Me anything. There's
Mm-hmm.
me.
Okay. All right.
The illegal activities here in Southwest Michigan.
Okay.
There was things, wire issues like that, bad electrical, plumbing problems, and they are signing signatures that these houses have passed inspection for Section 8 housing, and the houses are not safe. People are getting shocked. If the sewers coming up out of the ground, but they allow the Section 8 um, program to rent them anyway, and they're getting paid under the table to pass this. And
Right.
I've blown the whistle on that, and they want me gone. So we're being victimized by CPS. The day that they took my child, there was um 16 traffic stops out of South Bend, Indiana, where we were held for an hour and a half due to CPS calling the police because they pinged my phone. They knew where I was at, and they pulled me over. And the police was able to look at my child. We took her shoes and socks off. They looked in her hair. They looked down her back, her legs. They called CPS back on the phone, and they said, this child looks perfect. She's beautiful. She's well dressed. They said to the police, we want you to confiscate the child and drive her to the border of where Michigan meets Indiana. They said, we're not going to do it. There's nothing wrong. And they let us go. And 5 hours later, they had my child in their custody because we left where we were at to come to one of my locations. and they found us and took Emily. Pardon me.
Okay.
My daughter.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of battles going on. It sounds like you're talking about a corrupt government, a corrupt police station, a corrupt CPS, and they're doing retaliation on you. I don't know why they're intimidating you because you're just doing your job as a photographer, and your 14-year-old has special needs, and that is really bad. Is that the only child that you have, or are there other children involved? So you, as a grandparent, you could get your children. You could get guardianship of your 3 grandchildren if you wanted to. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Any claim on any abuse. It's
Okay.
non-existent.
All right. Okay.
And I am crying out in an attempt to protect these kids, my daughter and my 3 grandchildren, and they're all beautiful. To protect them and get them out of CPS very much wants to terminate our rights, and I can't seem to appease them. On May 8th, 2025, I went in to another city and I paid them with 2 trips driving to this large city close by, about an hour from here, for a psychological evaluation. I was told the eval would be back in 2 weeks. And instead it took a month and a half. They just sent the report back making a claim that I was not cooperative and did not reach out so they could finish the test. Later, I found out that I hired the wrong organization, the wrong entity, because it is a psychologist's office who CPS uses on a regular basis. I did not know that.
Okay. I have right now running, I have two clocks going. I have the clock, it's 8 o'clock tonight. That means my live stream is over. I have a running clock and I've talked already 1 hour and 1 minute. So I've given it a full hour, but that doesn't mean you can't come back again to talk tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the weekends at 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Again at night, I'm at 7 p.m. tomorrow night and Sunday night. So I'm here for you all.
Okay.
I do want to thank you very much for talking to me. And I do want to help you out. And I'm pretty sure the people in the room have appreciate what you had to say there in Michigan. Now, Chris, I think Chris finally tells me after a long time, I thought Chris was in Florida. She says from Missouri, but temporary dependency jurisdiction case in Florida. Lori Wadlow said, Bob, could you be a witness for someone on Zoom? I can try to be a witness. I don't know what I have to be a witness for. Chris, contempt order established in Missouri in 2020. Nothing New says city, state, county, or county if out of the USA. Okay. Laura says, I'm from Kansas City. Chris is my best friend for 20 years. Chris is short for Christina. She can't afford a good lawyer. She's a single mom. All right, understand. And she could call in. You guys both can call in to help you. And Chris says the case happened in Florida, Southwest Florida. My mom says I should quit. Well, you never quit if you love your children. Don't give up on your children. Dorothy Cook says text Bob or call in to live. And there's my number. Chris, I'm not making up what I've made at this company. It's ridiculous. Maybe I should move there and make more money and save for efficiency in Florida. Laura says Chris is in Florida, not California. She makes 14 an hour. I understand that. And that is really tough if she is working at low wages. Something called Lee County is where Chris's case is, I guess.
New information in that these children. It's completely illegal, and I'm writing a thesis that will outline how they can file a petition and have it annulled and dropped. And they demand for immediate release of their children back.
Okay.
I'm working on that.
Okay, good. I'm going to wrap up here because I need to end my show here. Yeah. Here's a new person from Fulton County. I don't know what Fulton County, what state that's in. Fulton County, I've noticed he's called a drain. I have the worst CPS case. I love to hear about it. Come in tomorrow and talk about it. It's already after 8 o'clock. So I want to thank a drain from some place called Fulton County. Oh, it's Fulton County, Georgia. All right, glad to have you here. But I got to close my case here. Thank you, Dorothy Cook from North Carolina. Thank Michelle from Michigan for talking to live on the phone. Christopher from Florida. Laura, who's from Florida. Let me see who else we have here that we forget. Let me see. We have Christina somewhere. Nothing New. I never knew where Nothing New is from. But anyway, thank you, Nothing New. See here. We have Chris, Nothing New. We have Dorothy Cook, Laura, Chris, and Corilla. Corilla is from Oxnard, California, and she started off the show at the beginning. So I want to thank all my listeners and everyone. I want you to keep still fighting for your children. At the conclusion of my live stream, you're going to hear a brief message from my attorney, Vincent Davis. Listen to it. It's a good message. Please keep fighting for your children. Do not give up. Do not give up. I'm here for you. I'm here twice a day, 7 days a week, 14 live streams. So I'm always here to help you as best as I can. So not to fret. There's another day and more time. I know time is running out for some of you, but we can work through it. God bless you all. Thank you and have a good night. This is Bob Pace signing out. Thank you.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last